in this lesson, we'll go back to working on the steps. Going back to the right foot, let's go ahead and select it, open up our graph editor, and notice as we scrub how the character's knee is going through the crate. Okay, as the right foot comes forward, it's coming forward too much, so we need to bring it back. With it selected, let's go to the Translate Z to fix that. We'll frame our F curve, and let's take these keys and let's move them down. So we'll hold Shift and middle mouse button, click and drag down to fix their pose. Alright, great. So now we're not running into that issue where the knee was going through the crate as it once was. Alright, so we can go ahead and move on to animating this footstep. And for that, we can bring our attention right now to the raised ball and raised toe channels. We'll frame it, frame our F curves, and start. So as the character is bringing his foot up, on about 44, we're going to want to drop the ball of the foot and bring up the raised toe. So we could actually bring that up now. Okay, like that. And then on 39, we're going to want to drop the raised toe. So let's do that, because we don't want it up until after frame 39. So that foot's rising. And then on frame 50, we'll go ahead and plant the foot. So put in a value of 0 for the raised toe. Okay, but we're not just done yet. Here's what we get when we hit play. And it's looking pretty good, but right now the foot is in a bad position. The ankle would be near snapping here, or it'd be very uncomfortable. So we need to also animate the raised ball, so that's coming up. So let's go to frame 46 and we'll key the raised ball, set to 0. And on the, just a little bit after the plant, okay, on frame 52, let's raise up the ball here. And this is going to give us a nice press as the character is coming in. Alright, great. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to want to plant the foot as we scrub back, as the character is moving back. So let's plant it. Let's say it's coming, it plants back at frame 68 when the leg is in a good enough position where the foot can plant. So on 68, we're going to put a value in of 0 for the raised ball. And here's what we get if we go ahead and even hit play. Alright, great. But now we're coming to this part where the character is moving back. Okay, and here's another area where we'll need to fix up the center of gravity, the translate Y of it. So it's not moving up as high, and we're not getting this lock that we're getting, preventing us from having the right foot actually plant on the floor. But we'll continue working on the right foot, and then we'll move back to the center of gravity to fixing that up. What we'll do is start to animate the raise heel channel. Let's also bring that into our view, to our graph editor. And on frame 68, let's key the raise heel. We'll lift it up on 73 because notice the lock in the foot. As the character is coming back, that heel is actually going to start rolling up before the character brings his foot back. So on frame 73, let's bring up the raise heel like that. There's our key. Great. And then as we scrub past, on about frame 79, we're going to actually have it so that the raised toe will be up at this time and the heel will be dropped. So let's go ahead and put in a value of 0 in for the heel and raise up the toe for that back footstep. Okay. And we're also going to need a key on frame 73 of the raised toe, so that's not activated until it needs to be. So here's what we get. We get this nice backwards swooping motion of the foot, and then it plants on 83. So on 83, we'll go to the raised toe and drop the foot. So if we hit play, here's how it looks. Alright, great. So it's looking pretty good. Now all we need to do is make sure that the leg is able to make contact with the floor. So let's go to our center of gravity and we'll go to the translate Y, and we want to change a few things here. At about frame 73, we want to bring down the character a little bit more, but still to the point where he is moving up. So let's take this key on 70 and we'll move it down to 73, and we'll take this key and let's move it down until we get some nice plant with the right foot to where it appears to be locked but isn't quite locked. We could get in real close to this key so we don't move as much, just as much as we need to. And once we have found that, we'll scrub through to make sure it's fine. Great. And then with these in-between keys, or at least this one on frame 60, let's take it and delete it. We don't need it anymore. Alright, great. So now the characters, as he's moving back, we're not getting that lock anymore out of the right foot. But notice he's too far down here. Okay, on about 83 or so. So we're actually gonna want to fix that. So he's translating up, and also that'll pretty much take care of this footstep, the right foot. So for this, we'll go to a little bit after the foot is planted, okay, to offset it slightly, and on 84, let's go ahead and translate the character up, not to where his legs are locked, but to the point where they're near that. Could even get in close to this key on frame 84 and just bring it down a little bit more, and let's see how this looks. Alright, great. And then we're going to want to make sure that our arms weren't affected by it, by that move. We need to make sure that they're moving right. And they sure are. Okay, or at least that right arm is. Let's check out the left. Okay, let's do a play blast from here to check out the left arm to see if it needs to be fixed at all. So since we're just focusing on this end part, we'll adjust our range slider to just focus on the range that we need, which is right here. So let's render off a play blast from this view. Here it is. Okay, so that left arm actually looks pretty good, but let's adjust it so that it's not locking up as much as it is. Okay, we can close that out. Bring back our control curves, and in the translate Y of the left arm on K, we'll just go to the point where it's locking up. On 88, select this key, frame the region, and let's take it and just move it up slightly. Great. So that fixes that. And the right arm looked pretty good. We could again go ahead and just make sure that it's not locking up. And it sure isn't. Well, with these things finished, we're just about done animating our steps. What we're going to do in the next lesson is bring our focus to the left and work on finishing that up to complete our footsteps.